This looks like it could be one of the channels to keep your eye out for here. This is Loreno's virtual home. It looks like it's called Ireland's channel, and he just shot a video response to Thou Art That's. It was a long time ago when Thou Art That had shot that video on my book, and I just want to say that I found Loreno's take there on existential phenomenology to be fantastic. This thing was very tightly attuned. His account of how Husserl was related to Descartes and how Heidegger then is related to Husserl, and the way that Heidegger existentializes the phenomenology of Husserl. That is, Heidegger radicalizes Husserl's phenomenology, moves it from a kind of transcendental orientation to an existential orientation. I really think that there are few videos that I watch here on YouTube that I find as tightly attuned and, as you could say, precise and as nuanced in some of the things that were being said. Very rapid fire style there. It was about a 4-minute video, and this thing was, again, very, very tight. It's, you know, when we were kids, we used to shoot bottle caps. You know, you put a little bottle cap on there and you go like this. I mean, this guy was hitting targets right at the center at 50 yards, just bang. I mean, this guy was really, it was very dead on. I really got to say how much I enjoyed that video. The thing that I would pick on, though, if I would raise an issue, it would be this question of spontaneity. I don't know if spontaneity is the word choice that I would go for. I think it's very right. See, what he's doing at the end of this video is he's suggesting that authenticity isn't an idea of seriousness, but it is, as he suggests, something like a spontaneous attunement to the moment-by-moment contingencies in terms of the larger projects toward which I'm I guess committed, as I'm going to be resolute, that once I reckon with my death, I have to become resolute in my projects, and it helps me put things into a kind of perspective when I'm encountering things in my everyday life. It's how I fall, if normally I fall into a kind of just everyday thinking about things, it's in recognizing my own death that I become more and more aware of how much can't be done by other people for me. I mean, there's some projects that other people just can't do for me, my death being perhaps the exemplar, but all kinds of things in my everyday life, and it starts to become aware that, you know, the authentic person is someone who has to reckon with their individuation as that occurs to them through death. And so this spontaneity that I think Loreno is identifying, this is so interestingly related to some of the stuff that Soulfetcher is talking about in his recent video as well. Please, again, it's another just excellent video, right? If people haven't been checking out some of Soulfetcher's videos lately, the one that he just uploaded, again, just today, responding to yesterday's video on narrative and how important narrative is, and how much we seem to miss embodiment, right? We seem to miss the fact of what it means to be a body, and the sort of over-narratizing, the sense of the narrative has, the cultural narrative has become dominant. We sort of see ourselves in terms of these life scripts rather than recognizing our sense of embodiment. And so I guess the way that I would merge those two and to raise these questions would be, is spontaneity the right word, or could it be that I would say, you know, Calvin Schrag's work is someone who I've, you know, greatly, you know, just learned so much from, greatly appreciate his stuff, but especially his book called Communicative Praxis in the Space of Subjectivity, right? It's a fascinating book. What he would call, though, is the ethics of the fitting response. What is a fitting response? The fitting response is this recognition of one's occurrence, one's non-substitutability, one's non-interchangeability with other people, all of the ways that one is non-interchangeable with another. And what does that give as a call for a fitting response? See, there's a sort of demand by the moment, by the situation that's disclosed because of us. And what I think Loreno's talking about is spontaneity. I would want to call maybe a kind of ethics of the once occurrent fitting response. And this is where Wittgenstein's one-liner here is very, very important, very useful, which is courage is always original. Okay, thanks.